So to me, there are three tenets which define design thinking. One of the good ways of taking another's perspective of the challenge is abstraction ladder.
Synthesizing the problem is something very, very critical for managements to understand, and their leader has to take a call.
If you want to be successful, there has to be a change of mindset.
We have an expert here who will help us walk us through that session. Dr. Arup Mazumdar is an alumnus of the University of South Australia and IIM Bangalore, and he is currently being mentored by Dr. Shrikant Datar, who is the present dean of the Harvard Business School. And he is the authorized academic for the delivery of his Harvard Business School signature course in design thinking and innovation, as has been adopted with the permission of HBS. With 12 years in CXO positions, Dr. Mazumdar has facilitated design labs home and abroad for companies, firms, colleges, and schools. So with that, it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Arup Mazumdar, a chief evangelist in design thinking.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Today, the world is VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. There's so many things happening. There's a war, there's a pandemic, there is so many other things happening economically. The inflation rate is high. So industries today have had to really do a pivot, because what was working yesterday is not working anymore. In the sense that if you need to survive, you can carry on doing what you want to do. If you want to be successful, then it's no longer working. There has to be a change of mindset. The mindset of old was something which I called the reliability mindset. We've all done it. I've done it. I've spent 31 years in HSBC, and as I said, 12 years of which as CXO positions, also with the Tatars. I've done it. But however, under the great mentorship of Shrikant Datar, I've actually managed to change gears and have a mindset change. The lesson here to be learned is you can learn to be creative. So what is the reliability mindset? The reliability mindset is, will it work? How many times have you heard this? When you come up with thoughts, new ideas. This sort of effectively torpedoes any innovative thinking. It has to change to a validity mindset. The validity mindset says, I don't know whether it'll work. I'm willing to try. I'm willing to fail, but I'll fall forward. And we will get back again and try. One of the biggest examples of the validity mindset is what today, which we've all used, vaccines. So what has changed? People who are able to balance that validity and reliability mindset are prospering. People who are unable to are not doing as well. So what we need to do is understand that today it's an experience economy. The user is in the middle of it. It's no longer value at purchase. It's more value in use. So what does that mean? That means that if you want to be innovative and you want to prosper and you want to find opportunities in this unknown, the crisis which is there, which is what you must, what do you need to do? You need to empathetically understand the wants, needs, and desires of the user. This is the mindset of design thinking, which is also very nicely stated by IDEO, which is a very well-known American design firm. and they call it human-centered design. So what's different about human-centered design? The human-centered design is explorative, adaptive, iterative, empathetic, and of course it's risky. But the plus point about it is that it really works, as we will go ahead and see. One of the things which today stands out is the power of why. And it's very interesting that in some companies, when you ask them that why is it that your products sell, a lot of people will expound about how good the product is, how brilliant it is, how it's one of a kind. I'm sorry, that means they don't know their customers. And I would also hazard a guess that they don't know the employees as well. You don't know your customers, you don't know your employees. How will you retain or grow both? So all of you who are open-minded, right thinking, right brain thinking, I would honestly say today, start with the question, why? Enough of me. Let us hear Shrikant Datar, who's mentored me in design thinking, the reason while I am here on stage. Let's hear what he has to say about design thinking. He is still running this course actively today, which I had the distinct opportunity to amend for Indian business schools. Let's hear what he has to say.
The future looks uncertain for almost all businesses today. Design thinking removes the bias from strategic debates about what to do next. My name is Shrikant Datar, and I am the George F. Baker Professor of Administration and Dean of Harvard Business School. I've been teaching this course on design thinking since 2012, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to bring it online.
In my own experience, design thinking is the single most important advance in how we think about product and offering development. It provides the framework for us to almost always build the right thing.
Design thinking is a light, adaptable framework that empowers businesses to develop a user-focused mindset, generate ideas, strengthen possible solutions through testing, and introduce the resulting innovations to the world. For any type of innovation problem, design thinking gives businesses a starting point for developing user-focused solutions.
Design thinking practices are not just the domain of product design. They can absolutely be applied to any kind of problem solving that you're trying to address.
Customers won't tell you what they need or what the future should be. Businesses need to discover those insights for themselves in a structured way. Whether you're a general manager, consultant, product developer, or marketer, this course will help you solve business problems and guide your organization strategy. I hope you finish this course feeling energized to get in touch with your users and prototype solutions early and often.
All right, I'm back. One of the few things you need to understand and take away from what Shrikant Datta said was, going backwards, you need to prototype. And the other very important learning is design thinking is a discipline. It's not random. It's not something you think up over a cup of coffee, though a cup of coffee will help. Design thinking has many models, many approaches, many definitions. So in the next, say, half an hour or so, I'll attempt to brush as many cobwebs as possible. And no, this is not a masterclass in design thinking. It's not about tools. It's a lot about why of design thinking. Why do you do what you do? What's the mindset? So let's jump in. Mindset. There are 3 tenets which, to me, it's all me. If I'm getting it wrong, I am solely responsible. But this is what I think, and I have a learned audience, so I hope you will take it in that context. So to me, there are 3 tenets which define design thinking. There is context, there is ask the right question, and there is empathy. Before I jump into it, one of the biggest questions which you need to ask in today's environment is, are you solving the right problem? Park this for now and let me proceed. Just to ensure that everybody is awake, I have some of these little evil puzzles out here. So I'm going to ask the audience here, what is the last row in the sequence and why? What are the first number? It's 11. Is there any other way you can describe to somebody? You can. You can say it's 2 ones. Got it? Well, there you are. It's simple when you figure out and you say, why didn't I think of it before? And that's exactly what happens with the outcomes of design thinking. Okay, we've now dived into some of the underpinnings and thinking which goes into design thinking. So I'll tackle it one by one. I was standing in the bus stop and this is the bus I saw. So question for you is, which way is the bus going? Yes, the bus is moving. Yes, there's a driver inside. Yes, there are passengers inside. Yes, I cannot draw a bus. So now, audience, take a guess, but you have to tell me why.
It could be moving forward, and that could be the rear of the bus.
It is moving forward. Good point. I didn't think of that one. It is moving forward, but is it moving to the left or to the right? See, nowadays the buses are very uniquely constructed. You don't know which end the engine is. So I'm sorry, that won't fly. So, which way is it going? Remember, you are standing in the bus stop. Remember, you are in Mumbai. Remember that in India, you drive on the left side of the road, and it's always a right-hand drive. It's moving to the right. Why? Anybody saying left? Anybody saying left? Lovely, I'll come to you. Okay, why is it going to the right? Can you see the steering? Okay, we'll park that. Young lady, why is it going to the left? Don't say just to be different. I appreciate that, but it's not an answer. All right. We are demonstrating the principle of context. We are in India. People drive on the left side of the road. This is a bus. So if you are standing in the bus stop, how do you get into the bus? No, what I mean is you get in through a door. Can you see the door? Therefore, which way is the bus going? Perfect. Got it? Context is important. This is something we very rarely do when we look at a challenge, which is why we jump to all sorts of different conclusions which may not work. Okay, if you were in the US, which way would the bus go? Context. Brilliant. One more. Quickly read it. We'll skip this. I'll ask you for the answer in the break.